Welcome back to our channel. If your birthday on this day, kindly comment your name, year of birth and country of birth. If you like our work, give like and subscribe our channel. Check description to see about our offers and new announcement. Here we see truth about birthday on this day. 20. On the off chance that you were brought into the world on the 20th of the month, you are profoundly responsive, however may wind up going to limits when responding to other people. Despite the fact that you are a mindful individual, you need to deal with adjusting your disposition so the assistance you give others is really valued. It is significant for you to understand that in your sincerity to help, individuals will possibly profit by your administrations in the event that they really need help, else they will believe your well goals to be interruptions into their exclusive issues. You would be appropriate to working in any calling caring for other people, like nursing, childcare, directing or homemaking. You are typically delicate commonly and are innovative, imaginative and heartfelt. Despite the fact that you confess your errors effectively, you will in general recurrent them over and over. You should expand your fearlessness and self-assurance. You ought to try not to be fretful and disrupted throughout everyday life. Despite the fact that you are a confident person, you in some cases lose confidence in yourself. You will in general get discouraged and bleak rapidly. You like verse and music. You have a decent taste of garments, fragrances and so forth. You have confidence in the head of serene conjunction. On the off chance that you are harmed, you become considerably more grounded. You have an appealing character. You love voyaging abroad. You for the most part do numerous things in your day-to-day existence twice, since it is in uncommon cases that you prevail in your first endeavor. Consequently, you for the most part don't get the benefit of your work however much you ought to do and wind up investing more cash and energy. With respect to, you are typically inclined to issues identified with stomach and stomach-related organs. Consequently, you ought to have as much cucumber, melon, cabbages and lettuce as could be expected. This will end up being valuable for your well-being. You should monitor yourself against exhaust and becoming sick for the most part during the long periods of January, February and July. You have a gigantic companion circle. You are typically attached to composing and accordingly can turn into an incredible essayist. You normally prefer to dedicate your life to social help. You have a ton of persistence and love. You get the opportunities of thriving through a rich individual from the other gender. In the event that you dwell someplace close to water or waterway, it can end up being extremely prosperous to you. You are exceptionally delicate and truly naive. You have extraordinary mindfulness and can detect the sensations of others, in any event, when they attempt to conceal their inward musings. Thus, you are handily impacted by your current circumstance. You are profoundly passionate too, which makes you even more subject to the changing breezes inside your environmental factors. The entirety of this makes an incredible need to create and keep up your own mettle. Whenever you have achieved this errand, life will turn out to be more reasonable and less undermining. You are particularly moved by magnificence, amicability, and love. You offered fondness and need much as a trade-off. You particularly need actual fondness, that is, a lot of embraces and warmth. You like to invest energy with loved ones. You are a helpful accomplice and hate to be separated from everyone else. Your ability lies in your sharp understanding and your readiness go about as a guide to the individuals who can employ power. You work best as the underlying influencer. You are less an initiator than one who owns a venture to finish. You are acceptable with subtleties. Very little escapes your consideration. You are humble, conciliatory and amiable. You can convince others to your perspective by utilizing delicate methods. You are splendid at making others think they are splendid. Your high affectability makes you mindful of different people group sentiments. You additionally act chivalrously. You should build up the capacity to really perceive that you are so important to the achievement of any endeavor you enter. You are the pace that ties projects together. Support yourself when important. However, figure out how to unobtrusively continue on ahead, certain about the way that you are key to any achievement. You are amiable, patient and consummately track down a typical language with totally all classifications of individuals. You can see through an individual gratitude to an exceptionally created instinct with superb relational abilities. You can without much of a stretch end up in the field of working with individuals. Your undeniable degree of relational abilities can make you an extraordinary negotiator. The symbol of a person calm in behavior and actions, gentle, tactful, with the ability to find compromises, able to control himself. You are a man with the confrontation of two equal beginnings acting in opposite directions from each other. At the expense of these confrontations, balance and tranquility are maintained within you. You are easily subservient, passive and gentle. You are closer to the role of advisor or designer, rather than the artist. Tact and delicacy, the capacity to establish a decent connection with a specific individual, without drawing in the consideration of everybody. Remarkable contact dependent on an itemized investigation of the conversationalist's conduct. Style is a work of art. People who are belittled by this number put family prosperity and estimated home life first. Sexual coexistence is less imperative to them than correspondence, shared regard and love. Committed and mindful, they require a similar consistency from their accomplice. Feeling adoration and consistency, they are quiet and cheerful. Be that as it may, when questions about the unwaveringness of an accomplice creep into their heads, the two change drastically, showing solid desire, which can prompt drastic actions to protect the family. This number of birthday describes you as a controlled, adjusted individual, ally of settling strife circumstances via looking for a trade-off. You frequently negate yourself and regularly endeavor to intercede in the issues of others, which frequently prompts inconvenience. Moon. People of the moon are diverse in emotionality, receptiveness. They effectively adjust to their environmental factors and conditions. Regularly imaginatively skilled, they accomplish their objectives by evading impediments and instinctively utilizing positive freedoms. They have disposition swings. Unwittingly they are searching for a more grounded individual who might dependably uphold them. They are very housewives, family arranged, faithful, touchy, never face challenges. They can change the musicality of life. They are self-observers. Thusly, despite the fact that they are well-disposed, they are regularly shut in their complex inward world with a rich creative mind. These individuals are described by the accompanying character attributes: an awareness of certain expectations, a longing for freedom. In doing their arrangements they generally act strategically and cautiously, don't permit others to constrain them to do things that they don't care for. They have a decent connection with the mankind. Emotionality and sensitivity are the principal mental abilities of those human beings. Those born beneath number 20 intuitively understand others in the arena around them. They are considerate and inclined to contemplation. Often these people are endowed with psychic skills. They instinctively sense the arena around. Communion with nature may be very crucial to them because, taking into account it, they study basics of existence and relationships with the universe. Depth of their belief permits them to peer the hidden flows of events and reasons of human actions. People of number 20 regularly motive changes of their environment. All this creates the want to find, broaden and improve their international. They are strongly attracted by using beauty, concord and love. People born with number 20 are looking to equally avoid excessive joy and strong grief. The desire for concord and worry to offend the feelings of others once in a while lead them to hesitant. They might also come to be anxious, seeking to avoid sturdy heating of their personal feelings and their manifestations inside the others. By nature human beings of number 20 are gentle and being concerned, but they do no longer on every occasion sense free to openly specific those traits, hiding their very own vulnerability. In real existence every now and then they will revel in a critical checks for the ascent in their souls, problems in the family, a love crisis, illnesses. They need to examine self-sacrifice, to develop the purity of mind and braveness in making choices. They ought to recognize the way to see and respect their personal role in this lifestyles, in order to constantly be substantial emotional traits. People of number 20 are dwelling within the religious international, and consequently they should have a non-secular communion with their loved ones. They aren't very robust, and the sexual power among them is as a substitute an exception. In any case, all their bodily reactions originate from their mind, and inside the absence of spiritual contact they may be now not involved to expand this or another relationships. Physical pride is usually a 2D goal for them, and it is constantly in comparison with the spiritual attraction. Sex for them is the end result of feelings, which originated in their mind. They want to have a non-secular relationship with a partner. Bodily relationships for them is secondary. In marriage, they're seeking out people who've the identical religious characteristics, and if the spouse is bodily more potent and weaker spiritually, marriage might also fail. And for number 20 it's quite disappointing. The important factor for them is to live with the ones who have the equal spiritual features. Their energy lies of their mind, and that they must have people around them for non-secular communion. It isn't continually smooth for people of number 20 to enforce their plans, so every so often they may be stressed. They want partners that would be capable of deliver them sufficient self-assurance in themselves. Their spouses should display a variety of guide for them. They need encouragement. People of number 20 are very touchy, and their pals and partners need to be careful now not to hurt them with a careless word. This number is giving a variety of abilities, however the different aspect is the dearth of confidence. Carriers of this number ought to try to trust greater in themselves in preference to swimming inside the sea of uncertainty, and becoming as sufferers in their very own moods and temperament. Their companions must have sufficient calmness and endurance to assist them to combat the horrific mood. It is likewise appropriate if there is a certain stability of temperaments. People born beneath the number 20 should be dealt with civilly and lightly. They are very touchy and on occasion pessimistic. They may convey themselves to a deep melancholy if they'll not be heard and encouraged by means of their cherished ones. They ought to expand the power of common sense, so that they might, using their superb minds, think definitely, in place of seeing best the darkish facet of life. They want to be fond of something as an example, art as a minimum, no longer to have time for reflection and unhappiness. People of quantity 20 have enough equipment to come to be happy and successful in life. They simply need to apply those equipment proper. You are touchy and empathic. You apprehend in reality what others feel and comprehend it without strolling in their shoes. You see what others try to hide and their authentic motives. Environment and social surroundings have an impact on you a lot. Emotions manipulate you most of the time, so that you alternate unexpectedly with the ecosystem. That's why environment affects you even too much. You need to create your very own inner core and come to be more independent. As quickly as you're more self-sufficient, your existence becomes way better. You are constantly inspired by way of the splendor around you and in all likelihood love animals. You know a way to love and willingly acquire love back. You certainly like hugs and kisses and any sort of physical love demonstration. You tend to spend plenty of time along with your family and friends, and also you surely revel in it. You can assist loads of people in their instances of problem. Due to your instinct and empathy, you know how to solve a hassle and relieve anxiety. You can be counselor, psychologist, consultant and simply excellent buddy everybody is seeking out. You are not a part of lively implementation. You're as an alternative a person who plans the entirety and observes it and manages, because you're more of a visionary. People born on the 20th day of the month are nicely bred and polite. They realize how to talk effectively and never damage human beings intentionally. After a small speak with you, humans feel higher than before. Your disadvantages: you always know what humans choice and you are in reality touchy to their issues, and unfortunately it reflects on you negatively as well. You tend to downgrade what you do for human beings, your dignity and importance in trendy. You are a remarkable individual, and also you need to price yourself. Just have a look at your achievements and you will take into account that people around you will now not manipulate without your help. Don't be afraid to stand for yourself, combat for justice if a person diminishes your input,